Hello, my name is Andrew Quinlan, and the book that I read for my summer reading project was Picture of Dorian Gray by Irish author and poet Oscar Wilde. The passage that I chose is from chapter 7. Let me read it to you. Kiss me again, my love. Don't go away from me. I couldn't bear it. Oh, don't go away from me. Brother. No, never mind. He didn't mean it. He was in jest. But you, oh, can't you forgive me for tonight? I will work so hard and try to improve. Don't be cruel to me, because I love you better than anything in the world. After all, it is only once that I have not pleased you. But you are quite right, Dorian. I should have shown myself more of an artist. It was foolish of me, and yet I couldn't help it. Oh, don't love me, don't leave me. A fit of passionate sobbing choked her. She crouched on the floor like a wounded thing, and Dorian Gray, with his beautiful eyes, looked down on her, and his chiseled lips curled in an exquisite disdain. This is always something ridiculous about the emotion of people whom one has ceased to love. Sybil Vane seemed to him to be absurdly melodramatic. Her tears and sobs annoyed him. I chose this passage for my commentary because I thought that it was very important towards the book. Because of Dorian Gray, Sybil Vane proceeds to kill herself later on in the book, and I thought that Wilde used a lot of diction and syntax and set a very kind of eerie tone when he wrote this part of the book. If you read the passage and you see how Sybil switches from pleading for Dorian by saying, "Don't go away from me, I couldn't bear it," and then saying, "No, never mind, he didn't mean it," it kind of shows her immaturity and her innocence, which is kind of a motif throughout the book. Wilde uses a lot of different things, such as his diction and his words and his syntax, to show innocence, and then he also uses the color white, which is a motif throughout the book, to kind of show the innocence throughout the whole entire thing. Also, I think that it was kind of weird how Wilde was using words like beautiful and chiseled lips and exquisite to describe Dorian Gray. It's not really weird because Basile has a crush on Dorian and he is in love with him, but also because Oscar Wilde was a homosexual author, I thought that was very important because he was trying to bring himself into his writing and using words that he would use. And also, let's see. Wilde used words such as choked her after Sybil was finished. This is describing how Dorian felt about what she said. A fit of passionate sobbing choked her. She crouched on the floor like a wounded thing. Wounded. These kind of words kind of set a tone towards the book that she's hurt from Dorian not really accepting for what she did, and Dorian doesn't really want to come back to her. There's always something ridiculous about the emotion of people whom cease to love. This is kind of telling the reader that Dorian is soon going to fall out of love for Sybil, which, as I said earlier, is eventually going to lead to the death of her. Her tears and sobs annoyed him. This is also showing the reader that Dorian is through with all of her antics and he just wants to be done with her. That he's moved on from her. He went through that stage and he realized that he wasn't really in love with her, so he just doesn't want to be with her anymore. Wilde uses a simile when he talks about, where is it? She crouched on the floor like a wounded thing, which, like I said earlier, is showing how she is hurt from what Dorian is doing to her, that she's upset that he's deciding to leave her and that things aren't exactly how they were before. The way that Wilde portrays Sybil in this passage is very distressed, and she shows a lot of disparity. She's very desperate for Dorian by saying, "Don't go away, I couldn't bear it." The reason why Dorian is falling out of love with Sybil is because she's focusing more on Dorian than her career in acting, which Dorian does not like. So Dorian doesn't think that he should be with a woman that would choose him over her career. I think that Lord Henry had a key role in the transformation of Dorian from being innocent to being kind of harsh and conceited in his book, because in the first chapter or so, Lord Henry gave a kind of speech to Dorian, which kind of set this thought in his mind that, oh, well, I should embrace my beauty, I should embrace everything about me that's great, and I should take the compliments that people say, and I shouldn't give them back, I should just take them in, and then that just made Dorian's head explode and just make him so conceited and made him just somebody that people don't really want to be around, which led to Sybil's death, which led to all these bad things that happened once Dorian Gray changed from his innocence to his conceitedness and everything. Also, in the passage, Oscar Wilde uses a lot of choppy sentences like, "Kiss me again, my love, don't go away from me, I couldn't bear it." This is showing Sybil's franticness and how she's desperate for Dorian to come back to her, how she doesn't want Dorian to leave him. And but you are quite right, Dorian, I should have shown myself more of an artist. That's reiterating what I said earlier about how Dorian doesn't want somebody who's more about him than her career. He wants the career to flourish and not their love for him. So by Sybil saying, "You're quite right, Dorian, I should have shown myself more of an artist," that's meaning that I should have put you aside and thought more about my career than vice versa. And that's all. Thank you so much, and hope you have a good teacher work day. Thank you.